It seems like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are losing support from Americans, despite calling the United States their home. According to a new poll carried out by Redfield and Wilton for Newsweek, Americans aren't supporters of the royal couple.
So polling that's been done recently by Newsweek, which has surprisingly been a huge fan of the Sussexes and has been very celebratory of them throughout the last few years, suggests that after the release of Spare, it's hurt not only the royal family's brand, but the Sussex brand. The only person coming out the winner is Queen Consort Camilla. And why that is so surprising is because the Netflix documentary, Harry and Meghan's Netflix documentary, and the book came out around the same time that The Crown season 5 came out, where they revisited There Are Three of Us in This Marriage. And Camilla is, just by an inch or two, actually more popular here in the States than Meghan Markle is at the moment.
So new polls reveal that Americans are now waking up to the Harry and Meghan nonsense. Here are some of the headlines. The more Prince Harry and Meghan Markle say, the less Americans like them. Meghan Markle less popular than Queen Camilla. And now Americans think Prince Harry and Meghan Markle should lose their title. Now, these poll results are shocking because at one point, Meghan was reportedly networking with Democrats in a bid to become president of the United States. You think I'm joking?
Could be ditching her Californian mansion for the White House, with rumours the Duchess may one day run for president.
Goodness me. Nine Honey's royal commentator Natalie Oliveri has the details. Thanks for joining us this morning, Nat. It would be an impressive resume, wouldn't it? Actress turned royal, turned political figure. Do we like her chances?
Good morning, Richard and Sylvia. Look, it may seem highly unlikely, but you never know. The Duchess of Sussex has done many things to surprise royal watchers recently. Now, look, Meghan has made it very clear that she is someone who is very political. Her comments recently about the election raised a lot of eyebrows back in the UK, but she isn't due to back down anytime soon. There are rumours she's eyeing a career in politics, including a bid for the White House in 2024. A friend of hers says that that was one of the reasons she's so keen to hold on to her US citizenship when she married Prince Harry, was that she had the option of one day going into politics. And this friend says that it's also highly likely she will make her a bid for the White House, especially if she and Harry are forced to give up their royal titles.
Now, polls have shifted dramatically. Where Harry and Meghan were two of the most popular royals, to now they are two of the least popular royals. Now, this poll was conducted by Newsweek, and it asked the American public their views on various members of the royal family. Now, as an example, we'll look at King Charles. His favorability rating was 27%, his unfavorable rating was 19%, and his plus minus, the difference between favorable and unfavorable, was plus 8%. He's liked more than he's disliked. And obviously, you'd rather be on the plus side of the favorability curve than the negative side. Now, to explain what's going on, I gotta take you back to the Oprah interview. See, after the Oprah interview, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's popularity in the United Kingdom tumbled, while in the United States, it surged. At the time, in the United Kingdom, Meghan Markle had a negative 23% popularity and Harry had a negative 5% popularity. Versus in the United States, where Meghan Markle's popularity was at a plus 25. A lot of people liked her in the United States. And Harry's was even more explosive at plus 33% favorable. Now, most people believe this shift was because Americans were more sensitive to claims of racism. And Meghan had made claims that the royal family was racist to her and her son Archie. As the AP reports, the royal family says Harry and Meghan's racism charges are concerning. Now, not everyone bought into the claims of racism. For instance, Piers Morgan was fired because he said he didn't believe Meghan's claims of racism. And Sharon Osbourne, who supported Pierce's opinion, she was also fired from her show because she supported Pierce's view that the claims of racism were nonsense.
Apparently, it's the press that's to blame for saying that Meghan Markle's claims of racism were claims of racism. Now, this had consequences, what they said to Oprah Winfrey. I was forced out of my last job presenting Good Morning Britain, a job I really enjoyed, because I said I didn't believe these claims without firm evidence. There wasn't any. And now we get told it wasn't racism. Exactly is what I suspected at the time. Do I get an apology? Does Sharon Osbourne, one of my guests tonight, does she get restored to her job at the CBS show, The Talk? Because she got fired for offering support on Twitter for my right to my opinion because apparently I'd said racist things. It turned out those racist things were not believing Meghan Markle's racism claims. Now they say they didn't mean racism. So does Sharon get her job back? Will they give back that award that they got for their heroic battle against structural racism in the royal family? Now we know there was no racism, structural or otherwise.
Now, things have shifted dramatically for both Harry and Meghan. See, in December, when polls were last taken, in the United States, Meghan was at a plus 25% favorable, and Harry was at a plus 38% favorable, almost all-time highs for the couple. And then a month later, their popularity tanked. Meghan is now at a negative 13% in the United States, and Harry is at a negative 7%. So let's look at Harry and Meghan's numbers in comparison to the rest of the royal family. The first thing we'll notice is Meghan Markle is the most unpopular royal in the United States with a whopping negative 13%. Now, the most popular royal is Kate Middleton at a whopping plus 26% favorability rating. Now, if you compare that with Meghan Markle's, that's a huge shift. But remember, Meghan Markle is the least popular British royal. So that means she's even less popular than Queen Consort Camilla, who's at a negative 8%. So when you stack everyone up, Harry and Meghan are the least popular royals in the United States and also in the United Kingdom. So what are some things that happened between December 2022 and January 2023 that dropped Harry and Meghan's popularity so dramatically in the United States? Well, first, Harry and Meghan did accept an award for anti-racism for calling out the royal family.
Prince Harry and Meghan are to be given a Ripple of Hope award in America. It's awarded from the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Foundation, who say that the couple took a heroic stand to oppose structural racism in the monarchy.
Then after that, their $100 million Netflix documentary dropped. Then Harry started doing press for his book release, where he slammed the press and denied that they ever claimed that the royal family was racist, even though they had just accepted an award claiming the royal family was racist.
In the Oprah interview, you accuse members of your family of racism. You don't even...
The British press said that.
Right.
Did Meghan ever mention that they were racist?
She said there were troubling comments about
there was concern about his skin colour.
Right. Wouldn't you describe that as essentially racist?
I wouldn't, not having lived within that family.
After Harry and Meghan backtracked on the claims that the royal family was racist, then the public started demanding that they give back that award they won for calling the royal family racist. And even leaders of the Black Lives Matter movement came out and conceded that Harry and Meghan were proven liars because they obviously were making a claim of racism. And by retracting that claim, they were lying to the public.
And now it looks to me like they've climbed down completely and hope we all just move on and forget it.
Okay, so what I will say is I will happily and humbly accept the defeat when it comes to them being called liars. They have proven themselves to be liars. However,
hold on. You're a Black Lives Matter activist. Is it not incredibly damaging to the cause of trying to get rid of racism in society? And I don't think Britain's a racist country, but we still have racists in it. That in our efforts to try and expunge this country of all racism, it's not very helpful when the sixth in line to the throne throws a race grenade, and his wife does, at the royal family, and it turns out not to be true.
Well, I have to say, so like I said, I will concede that they are liars.
And last but not least, Prince Harry's book Spare hit shelves with all of its bombshell revelations. So before all this happened, they had record high popularity numbers, and then it dropped dramatically. Even with young adults, Meghan Markle's favorability ratings are negative 8%. And remember, that's her core audience here in the United States because of the woke factor. And even more shocking, amongst men, Meghan Markle's favorability is at a negative 11%. But amongst women, it's even higher at a negative 14%. Women find her to be less favorable than men. So all that adds up to Meghan Markle being the least most favorable royal in the United States. And remember, this is their core audience. Now, this gets even worse for Harry and Meghan because now most Americans think they should be stripped of their royal titles because of what happened in the past month. And remember, when Meghan Markle's popularity was sky high, she was eyeing a bid for president, and this was her backup plan if they lost their royal titles.
And this friend says that it's also highly likely she will make a bid for the White House, especially if she and Harry are forced to give up their royal titles.
And this opinion poll followed the same trend as the favorability poll. For instance, in December, Americans were plus 16 in believing that they should keep their royal titles, and now Americans are at a negative 19, saying that they should lose their royal title. Now, interestingly enough, Harry was asked directly on camera why he just doesn't give up or renounce his royal title. This is what he said.
Then there was the headline-grabbing interview with Oprah Winfrey and a deal with Netflix worth a reported $100 million. Critics say the Duke and Duchess are cashing in on their royal titles while they still can.
Why not renounce your titles as Duke and Duchess?
And what difference would that make?
One of the criticisms that you've received is that, okay, fine, you want to move to California, you want to step back from the institutional role. Why be so public? Why reveal conversations you've had with your father or with your brother? You say you tried to do this privately.
And every single time I've tried to do it privately, there have been briefings and leakings and planting of stories against me and my wife.
Now, don't feel too sorry for Harry and Meghan. They essentially traded off their popularity for cash, right? The Netflix deal was worth $100 million, and let's not forget how much money Meghan's making on the podcast, on the book deal. You know, Spare was the highest selling book in the history of the world, right? So they are not hurting when it comes to the financial coffers, but the trade-off seems to be their popularity in their key base. So it seems that Americans have figured out that, hey, Harry and Meghan aren't what they claim to be, and maybe just taking advantage of their royal titles to make a quick buck. And their favorability ratings amongst Americans seem to be reflecting that sentiment. But let me know how you feel in the comment section. Is there anything that shocked you? Are you shocked to know that women find Meghan more unfavorable than men? Are you shocked to find that younger voters have also turned their backs on Harry and Meghan? Again, let me know in the comment section. And my name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.